Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sumukascha Yekadantascha Kapilo Gajakarnakaha Lambodharascha Vikato Vignarajo Vinayakaha Dhumaketurganadhyakshaha Palachandro Gajananaha Vakratundaha Surpakarno Herambaha Skandapurvajaha Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Sativarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Dhyayet Sarva Vignopasantaye Yasyad Viradavaktrabhyaha Parishadhyaha Parastatam Vignam Nignanti Satatam Vishvaksenam Tamasraye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheswaraha Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. With Bhagavan's grace, let us continue. We came up to slokam number 38. Suta Uvacha Abhyartitaha Tada Tasmai Sthanani Kalaye Dadao Jutam Panam Striyaha Suna Yatra Adharmaha Chaturvidaha. Being besieged and prayed to by Kali, Maharaja Parikshit gave him the 4 places where he can stay, where he can reside, where he can live. Dhyutam, gambling; Panam, intoxicating liquor, drinking those; Striyaha, illicit, immoral relationship, associations with women; that is prostitution; and Suna is killing animals, animal slaughter. These 4 places that he gave. But the problem was when Kali thought about it for a second. He said, in this rulership of Kali, Parikshit, the rulership of Parikshit, Maharaja Parikshit, people are not going to be gambling. And because Parikshit was ruling it with a dharmic rule, it was an exemplary lesson on how to manage. It's a phenomenal management lesson, a case study really for us today. And so people were following dharma, and they were not going to be tempted for gambling. They were not going to be tempted for intoxicating liquor. They will not be straying from the code of dharma and go for illicit, immoral relationship with women. And definitely they were not going to slaughter animals. So where will I stay? So he thought about it for a second, and he found that the 4 places offered to him by Parikshit was really a non-doable thing. So he requested Maharaja Parikshit again. And then Parikshit responded to that request. Number 39. Punaha cha yachamanaya jatarupam adat prabhuhu tataha anrutam madam kam rajaha vairam cha panchamam. Punaha cha yachamanaya jatarupam adat prabhuhu tataha anrutam madam kamam rajaha vairam cha panchamam. Then Parikshit very cleverly, he gave him a 5th place to stay, because he knew very well that is where the full force of Kali, the full immoral, evil tendencies of Kali will be manifested, and he could reside there. What are those places? Punaha cha, again, say Kali again, Yachamanaya, being requested by him, Prabhuhu, the king Parikshit, Jata Rupam Adate, he gave him gold as a place to stay. Adate, he gave him. Tataha, why? Because in that gold, what is happening? Anrutam, falsehood; Madam, pride; Kamam, lust; Rajaha, passion, cruelty; and Panchamam, the 5th one, Vairam, enmity. All these are automatically created, automatically happen when there is money, when there is gold present. And this is a very clever thing he did. Just think for a second. Anything to do with money, money makes many wrongs. And all the things that we do in our life, falsehood, deceit, the pride, the moment you accumulate some wealth in the bank, how proud you become. And money leads to a passionate lust, going after women. And also it creates lots of enmity. Even brothers fight. Even father and son, they fight. It is so crazy. This is what money, the power of money. This is how, because Parikshit gave Kali the place of wealth. Jatarupa means gold, but gold means really wealth, monetary wealth. In our case, we are not looking at gold per se, but the wealth, the money aspect of it. And because he gave him that place to stay, and which is where Kali is staying, and through these 5 sources, he is actually exerting influence on people. Right? Think about it, and you'll find this is the truth. And so, Madam, Kamam, Rajaha. The Kamam, Rajaha, you can combine it together. Or you can combine Rajaha with Madam also, Rajaha with Andrutam, and Rajaha with Vairam also. Rajaha means passion, a passionate behavior, an aggressive behavior, that Rajasic quality we have. And so that is the one that takes over and compels you to utter falsehood, to do Andrutam, untruthful things, lies. And it compels you, it forces you to take pride, to become proud. And it forces you to lust. And it also forces you into enemitic feelings. Today your friend, tomorrow he becomes your enemy, all because of money. And that is the power that Kali is exerting even today. Punahacha yachamanaya jatorupam adat prabhu tataha andrutam madam kamam rajaha vairam cha panchamam. The 5th one was the enmity. The 4, and then the 5th one, enmity. So these, you can read the panchamam together. Say all these 5 things happen because of wealth, because of money. That's what happened. Number 40. Amuni panchasthanani hi adharma prabhavaha kalihi otireyena dattani nyavasat tad videsha krut. Amuni panchasthanani hi adharma prabhavaha kalihi otireyena dattani nyavasat tad videsha krut. Now, adharma prabhavaha, the abode of adharma, the abode of evil, the abode of the hotbed, you can call it that way, of everything that is adharmic, that is Kali. What did he do? Amuni panchasthanani. Amuni means all these, pancha 5 sthanani, the places. He certainly, adharma prabhavaha kalihi, the hotbed of all that is adharmic, the abode of adharma that Kali was. And Uttarayena Dattani, Uttarayena means the son of Uttara, who was Parikshit. Dattani given by him. Nyavasat, Kalihi Nyavasat. Kali Nyavasat means took abode, took his residence there. And cut into those places, Nidesa Kriti, as directed by Parikshit, Uttarayena, Dattani, Nidesha Krite. Having been given, Dattani means he permitted him to stay there. And then he directed him, as directed by him. Adharma prabhavaha kalihi, amuni panchasthanani he navasate. Certainly he took residence there. Amuni panchasthanani he, adharma prabhavaha kalihi, Uttarayena dattani navasate tat nidesha krite. Number 41. Atha etani na seveta babushuhu purushaha kvachit visheshatah dharmasilah raja lokapatihi guruhu. Atha etani na seveta babushuhu purushaha kvachit visheshatah dharmasilah raja lokapatihi guruhu. Very important. Atha, see, after this, atha etani, in these 5 places that has been where Kali has been given residence, especially the wealth, because that opens a doorway to all kinds of evils. Money makes many wrongs. Please understand that. Money comes and goes, but morality comes and grows. Remember that. So be very careful in how you manage and handle, how you relate to the money that you have. Right now, most of us are being controlled and managed by the money, by our desire for it. Even the little bit of money we have in the bank, we think we have made it. No, you should take the managerial role that is control it. What is Ata Yetani? In all these 5 places, na seveta. They will never come in contact. They must never come in contact, and they will never come in contact. Who? Bubushuhu Purushaha. Bubushuhu. Those Bubushuhu Purushaha. Purushaha means people. Bubushuhu, those who desire well-being, their own well-being and their own welfare. Who desire their own well-being and welfare and happiness and sukham. Bubushuhu, people who really want their sukham, want their own sukham, not physical comfort of an air-conditioned room, no. The mental comfort, who are seeking a peaceful mind, for example, who are seeking the company of peace, shantam, and the happiness that the shantam gives. That comfort I'm talking of, and that is the real well-being of a person. People who seek that, people who desire that, they are bubushuhu. Kvachitu, at any time. Etani na seveta. They will not come in contact with these 5 places where Kali resides. And they must not come in contact. Na seveta means to come in contact. Seveta means to come in contact. Na seveta means not to come in contact. Sevam, seva, another way to look at is to serve. To serve means you submit yourself to it, right? And that is another way you can understand. They will never submit themselves to the forces of Kali, who is resident in these 5 places. They're very careful. Visheshadaha, among the bubushuhu who desire well-being, first of all, their own well-being. You have to be well before you can wish for others' well-being, right? You have to be peaceful before you can share your peace with others. So you should know what real well-being is. Only then you can spread it among others. So especially, Visheshataha, especially those people who are dharma silaha, who are always conducting themselves according to the principles and doctrines and precepts of dharma. Dharma means selfless love in action. That's all. Not to harm anyone. Not to harm yourself, not to harm anyone. That is dharma. People who are disciplining and training themselves to be like that, because that is what prescribed for us. That's the way we should conduct ourselves. So people who are interested in that, those dharma silaha, with that kind of a high character and discipline and conduct, those people who are dharmically oriented, number 1, Raja, the king. King means ruler of any country. Lokapatihi, the sub-rulers, in a kingdom, in a big country also, you have leaders of different groups, right? It could be state, it could be local municipality, local county, whatever it is, right? So all those leaders are lokapatihi. Guruhu, those people, guruhu in this case means people who are scholars and sannyasis and people who share the wisdom and knowledge of the scriptures to others, okay? Those people. These 4 sets of people, especially Visheshataha, especially, they should na seveta, they should never submit themselves, they should never come in contact with these 5 places where Kali resides. That is Jutam, Pranam, Striyaha, Suna, and Jata Rupam, because that gives rise to Anritam, Madam, Kamam, and Vairam, creates enmity, right? And creates lust, creates pride, and creates the worst sin of them, sinful behavior of falsehood, uttering a lie. Okay? It's very, very bad. So that is 41. अत एतानि न सेवेत बुभुषुः पुरुषः क्वचित् विशेषतः धर्मशीलः राजा लोकपतिः गुरुः. Number 42. वृषस्य नष्टान् त्रीन् पादान् तपः शौचं दयाम् इति प्रतिसंदध आश्वास्य महीं च समवर्धयत्. वृषस्य नष्टान् त्रीन् पादान् तपः शौचं दयाम् इति प्रतिसंदध आश्वास्य महीं च समवर्धयत्. Then what did Parikshit do? He Vrishasya Nashtan, the three padan, the three legs that have been nashtan, that have been lost by the Vrishasya, that the Vrishaha, by the bull, which means the dharma, which is tapam, which austerity, penance, right, a disciplined conduct, saucham, cleanliness, physical and mental, and spiritual and emotional purity, dayam, the compassion and love towards fellow beings, the parasparam, for the mutual. You live in a mutually beneficial and benefiting manner. That is the law of nature. So that dayam, all those three legs, he pratisamdadha, he re-established. What does this mean? Allegorically, he didn't put three legs there. What that means is that he developed and executed very strictly administrative rules and systems and practices whereby he encouraged and facilitated the citizens of his kingdom to practice the three, tapaha, saucham and daya. So they all practiced it. So the three legs of dharma started manifesting itself. That's what it means. So that's how pratisamdadha is re-established. And that comes in the next word, asvasya, by encouraging the corresponding activity, which is what I just told you, which is by encouraging those activities and by facilitating and for people to follow it, he made this happen. Then Cha and Mahim, for the Mother Earth, which was allegorically given as a cow, he also, by doing this, the moment people started behaving in a dharmic manner, Mother Earth automatically becomes happy, automatically is comforted and becomes prosperous. She shines in splendor and prosperity that shows up not only in the seasons being on time, in the rains coming on time, but also in the plants and the vegetation and all the wealth that Mother Earth gives us, right? So you can see the Mother Earth shining, that samavardhayate, became prosperous and happy. वृषस्य नष्टान् त्रीन् पादान् तपः शौचं दयाम् इति प्रतिसंदध आश्वास्य महीं च समवर्धयते. Another thing that Parikshit did here, because he knew Kali had entered. So he knew Kali is very powerful, especially since he has given him that fifth place, which is money. And that can tempt anybody, because money makes many wrongs. Please remember that. And so he was very clever. And he's such a dharmic ruler he was, such a capable ruler. He acted proactively. He instituted policies and principles proactively, rules and laws and systems and support systems, educational institutions, training courses, whatever you call it, and followed through. So all these things he did proactively and diligently so that people were all following dharma. Okay? He taught them tapas, saucham and daya, and they shone in that. Then Mother Earth became prosperous because people were all behaving themselves, conducting themselves according to dharma. Vrishasya nashtan trin padan tapah saucham dayam iti pratisamdadha asvasya mahim cha samavardhayate. Number 43. Saha yesha yetarhi adhyasta asanam partiva uchitam pitamahena upanyastam rajnya haranyam vivikshata. Saha yesha yetarhi adhyasta asanam partiva uchitam pitamahena upanyastam rajnya aranyam dikshata. Yaha yesha yetarhi. Yaha yesha. It is none other than. It is only this. Who? Yetarhi at present. Who was the? This is none other than the Raja who's ruling over, the Parikshit who's ruling over like this. Adhyasta means ruling over the kingdom. And who is he? Asanam Parthiva Uchitam Pitamahena. Parthiva Uchitam. And Asanam, the throne, the one who was installed on the throne by Parthiva Uchitam, by the Parthiva Uchitam Pitamahena, by his, the throne was installed for his grandfather Yudhishthira, given by Maya, right? Mayan from the Vishwakarma, built that story that we covered earlier. And that throne, the same king who's now ruling like this is none other than the same person who was installed on the throne by Parthiva Uchitam, by the Pandavas. It's the same king. Upanyastam, when they handed over the responsibilities of managing the kingdom, Rajnya Aranyam Vivikshataha, as the Rajnya means the king Yudhishthira and Pandavas, or Aranyam, when they were discarding and going towards the Himalayan mountains to abandoning the kingdom and for their final journey to reach Krishna, when they did that, Vivikshataha means with their eyes set on that. When they left the kingdom, they handed over the responsibility and seated Parikshit on that asanam, on that throne, and coronated him. The same Parikshit, okay, is the one who was ruling like this. Saha yeshaha yetarhi adhyasta asanam parthiva uchitam pitamahena upanyastam rajnya aranyam vivikshataha. Number 44. Aste adhuna saha rajarishihi kaurava indra sriya ullasan gajasvaye mahabhagaha chakravarti brihatsravaha. Aste adhuna saha rajarishihi kaurava indra sriya ullasan gajasvaye mahabhagaha chakravarti brihatsravaha. It's the same Parikshit. Aste is there. Adhuna now. Saha Rajarishi, that Rajarishi, that Parikshit, that king who is the Rajarishi, he is the same Rajarishi who is there right now. And Kaurava Indra, Sriya Ullasan. Kaurava Indra, in the lineage of Kauravas means does not mean Dhritarashtra's sons. Here Kauravas means among all the kings, the children on the lineage of the Kuru Vamsam, Indra, the most splendorous one, the best among them, Sriya, their fame and reputation, the splendor of those people. This is now he's talking of Pandavas. The Pandavas are the one who made the Kuru dynasty shine in splendor. So those Pandavas, Ullasan, that splendor, Ullasan spreading that all over. That means he was living according to the dictates and the conduct of his grandfather, the grandparents, the grandfathers. Remember, he was always interested in hearing and watching the stories about how the Pandavas loved Krishna and how Krishna loved them back and he saved them with several dangers and all that. So he was living according to the same bhakti, devotion to Lord Krishna. That is what this means. Kaurava Indra Sriya. That splendor, that glory comes about by bhakti and devotion to Krishna. Because he was conducting themselves, because he was ruling his kingdom, every single item that he did reflected that, manifested that. So Ullasan, that bhakti for Krishna was spreading around. With that, Gajasvaye, he was in Hastinapura, ruling the kingdom from Hastinapura. Mahabhagaha, the most fortunate king he was. Why he was most fortunate? Not only was he born in the Kuru dynasty, but he was living in the company of Bhagavan Krishna right in the womb itself. So his whole life was spent, and finally he is going to merge with Krishna himself, being taught by none other than Sukha Brahman. So how most fortunate, how can anybody be more fortunate than that? So Mahabhagaha, that most fortunate king from Hastinapura, ruling the kingdom in the same splendor, in the same manner, fully in alignment with how his grandfathers, Pandavas, conducted themselves. So he became a Chakravarti. Okay? It's an emperor. Chakravarti is more than a Raja. The emperor of this huge kingdom, and he became, as the Brihat Sravaha, became highly famous all around the earth as Chakravarti, as the emperor. That is how Parikshit ruled. Aste aduna saha rajarishihi kauravendrasya ullasan Gachakvaye mahabhagaha Chakravarti Brihat Sravaha. Number 45. Itham bhuta anubhavaha ayam abhimanyu sutaha nurpaha yasya palayataha shoni yuyam satraya dikshitaha. Itham bhuta anubhavaha ayam abhimanyu sutaha nurpaha yasya palayataha shoni yuyam satraya dikshitaha. Now, Itham bhuta, it being this way, such as this. Okay? And what is such as this? The kingdom of Parikshit was the example. Any time you want to look at a management lesson, how a country should be ruled, you look at the Parikshit rulership, Parikshit administration. The phenomenal example of how a country should be ruled, how even a group of people should be managed, and how a kingdom should be administered, and according to the principles of Dharma. It was phenomenal, really phenomenal. So, Itham Bhuta, such as this, the way that he was doing, Anubhavaha, the various experiences of all the citizens, everybody, even though Kali had entered, but Kali was kept in very tight control. Kali could not raise its head because of the tremendous proactive and preventive measures or that Parikshit had set in place to make sure that people do not stray away from the path of Dharma. So the experiences, they had all the dharmic experiences, all the loving, devotional experiences that were spread all over. Palayataha, Anubhavaha experiences. I am this Abhimanyu Sutaha Nirpaha, the son of Abhimanyu, the king. Yasya Palayataha, under whose rulership, Shonim on earth, the way he was ruling the earth, not just a part of India, it's a huge, well spread out kingdom it was, huge it was. So on earth, the whole part of earth itself, because of these experiences, because he was ruling it this way, you all, now Suta is talking to Saunaka and all the rishis who had assembled there to listen to the story. He's addressing them, you all, Satraya, the Brahma Satra Yajnam, the Yagam that you have undertaken, Dikshitaha, you were able to initiate that Yagam, all of you, the Brahma Satra Yagam, because under the protection, the dharmic protection, the way that Parikshit is ruling the kingdom, and because of the experiences that creates for everyone in the kingdom, the circumstances are conducive, the atmosphere is conducive, the opportunities are there, everything is given, and you are protected in performing the yajna. And you are protected, you are also taught and encouraged to do it the right way, and you are supported to do that. All these things are there. Because of that, you are able to even start this Brahma Satra Yajna, is what Suktamuni says. Ittam Bhuta Anubhavaha Ayam Abhimanyu Sutaha Nrupaha Yasya Palayataha Shonim Yuyam Satraya Dikshitaha. Iti Srimad Bhagavate Mahapurane Paramahamsyam Samhitayam Pratamaskandhe Kali Nigraho Nama Saptadaso Adhyayaha. Thus ends in Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuranam Paramahamsyam Samhitayam, spreading nothing but welfare and well-being all around for everybody and every being. Pratamaskandhe, the first skandham, Kali Nigrahe Nama, titled the name that whether Vyasa gave or given later, Vyasa must have given, because Kali Nigraho Nama, the name is appearing there. So Kali Nigraha is the name of the chapter that is given, which means the subduing Kali. That is the translation of that. That Saptadaso Adhyaya, the 17th chapter. And 18th chapter will deal with the curse of Parikshit, which we will take up with Bhagavan's grace in our next session. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.